Hey guys, so I'm back with another video. I wanted to talk about distance in this video because I know for like one-on-one, like I've actually been feeling pretty distant from God lately. And I know that that's a process. Like I know God has appointed that, as well as like all the other good times when I do feel his presence and all that type of stuff. But I feel like just recently, I'd say within the past 2 months, I've been feeling kind of distant from God. Like I know that He's there. Like I can see Him. Like I can see Him around me. I can see Him move in little places and stuff like that. But I still feel very alone at times. And I feel like one thing. I mean, obviously, I know God is giving me, gracing me with that. If that makes sense to you, like I know that He's appointed that time, like I said, as well as the others. Um, but one thing that has helped me is honestly when I'm feeling down, when I'm feeling depressed, or I'm feeling very like alone, and I'm feeling very distant from God. The best thing for me to do is to get back in His presence. And I was actually talking to a friend not too long ago. I'd say like last Sunday, about what I'm talking to you about. Like, oh, I'm feeling distant and it's just hard right now. And he was telling me that like that's an invitation. You know what I'm saying? When you feel that lack of presence, sorry if you hear that, that's literally my freaking cat, or one of my cats. I guess he's like messing with the freaking litter box. But he was saying that like take that as an invitation from God to go further with Him. When you feel that distance, that's a invitation from God to get deeper with Him, and to get to take that invitation as like I want you to draw closer with me. Like I want you to draw in with me. Like I want you to check up with me. Like I want that time with you, because I know for like a personal experience, like if I feel far from God, or if I feel like I feel like God's not there in a way, I'm very quick to just, right as I make this video, that's when the cat gets the freaking zoomies and is running around the house. But like my friend was saying, take that as an invitation. And when you feel like that, go deeper with God, because that's God's way of saying like, hey, I miss you. I'm not gonna force you to come to me, but like if you feel that distance, if you feel that like lack of connection, that's God's way of saying like, come deeper, or I'm here, but I need you to draw in. I need you to draw closer, because as we know, God's a gentleman. He's not going to force His presence on you. He's not going to force anything on you, because He's given us free will. And I feel like I keep running in circles with what I'm talking about, because I'm getting easily distracted. So help me, God, with that. But I know that's like a difficult season. You know what I'm saying? That and like the waiting process, or that and like just the distance and the waiting process is like, I feel like some of the worst seasons, where you're just kind of existing in a way. Like God's there, but you can't really feel Him all the time, like you did when you first came to God. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to give encouragement to anyone that is going through one of those seasons, that it does get better, that it's not always going to be like that. And God is giving you this season for a reason, whether that's, God, like I said, God was wanting you to draw closer, like that's an invitation from God, or it's when you first come to Christ, and after a while, God's kind of like taking the training wheels off a little bit and letting you kind of walk ahead, if that makes sense. Like I'm trying to like make sure I'm explaining that well. Just like a father would do, once your child gets a little bit older, you don't always have to be present 24/7 in their face. You know what I'm saying? But you're still there. You're still caring. You're still watching over them. But you don't have to be like as close to them as when they were like an infant. You know what I'm saying? So even though sometimes it is hard to like realize that, but it's like God's way of like saying like, I trust you. Like you're growing, you know, you're getting better, you're growing in this walk with me, and I don't have to be there like in your face 24/7. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still there, like I'm still over you. You can still feel me, but it's like I'm giving you a little bit of space, which is not a bad thing, and it can feel good, but it can also feel very sad, because nobody wants to feel like, oh well, God's pulling away from me, when in reality, like, he's not. He's trusting you, and he's letting you walk, if that makes sense. Because I know when I start feeling distance from God, or distant from God, like, or feeling like God's distant from me, like, I'm very quick to be like, oh, like, did I sin? Like, did I do something wrong? Like, is God mad at me? When in reality, it's God saying, like, I trust you. Like, I'm not all the time, because there is times where you do sin, and obviously sin separates us from God. So obviously apply this to your life, how it comes. But you know, for the most part, if you're not sinning, you're not living in willful sin, and you're just going through that season, it's because God is basically saying, like, I trust you, and you're growing with me, and I don't have to be there 24/7, because you're growing in Christ, and you're able to eat basically solid food. I can't remember what verse. I think Paul said it. I can't remember the verse, but it's like you're eating like solid food instead of milk, or something like that, talking about what I'm talking about, like growing in your walk and stuff like that. And basically during times like this or whatever, I think it was talking about some, like, during times, I don't know, I don't want to say it's exactly with what I'm talking about, but I feel like it's implied, you know, with like your walk or whatever with God. But yeah, it can definitely be a hard season, and I feel like, sometimes I feel like I'm just kind of here and I'm just kind of existing, but I know God's still very much present, and I know He still cares. So if you're feeling like this, I just want you to know that it does get better, and it's not always going to be like this. And during this time, don't sin. Don't try to like sin to get God's attention, or don't sin because you want to just, or you feel like God's mad at you, so that's your only option. Like, don't do that. Like I was saying when I was talking to my friend, to take that as an invitation to grow deeper with Him, and start seeking Him out, and go to that secret place, and like, even if it's like 5 minutes out of your day, because I know, I mean, life is busy, people can get busy, but make sure you're spending that time with God. And I'm not just speaking this to you, I'm speaking this to me too, because I need to get better with that as well. You know, reading the Word and just taking that time out of my day to actually be like, all right, this is just me and God's time, and like no other distractions, type of thing. But yeah, I really hope this helped in some type of way, or gave you some type of like wisdom or knowledge, you know, about when you feel distant from God, because it's honestly an invitation. It's not to punish you, it's not to make you upset, it's not to push you away, and it's not God pushing you away at all, or like being mean to you or anything like that. It's an invitation to seek Him out, to grow closer with Him, because He's always there and He's always listening, and He never once left your side. So I just pray that they gave you some type of encouragement, and it's helped you along the way. And until next time, bye.